Hey guys, hello. Are you able to hear me, guys? Please do let me know in the chat window if you are able to hear my voice. Okay, I can see a message from Sonia. Hey Sonia, hi. Good afternoon, guys. We'll start the meeting exactly at 3.
Recording in progress.
Hey guys, yes, so that's me. You can see me now. Okay, let me see if there is any problem with the. Hey guys. Yes, guys, hello. Yeah, I hope that now you will be able to hear me without any disturbances from the background. Yeah, I'm sorry about that screeching noise. It used to happen. Okay, I see a message. Horrible noise is coming. Yeah, Rukmini, I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm sorry about the horrible noise. Okay, but I hope that noise is not there at the moment, right? Please do let me know, guys, if you're able to hear me well. That horrible noise was actually the fluctuation between the laptop sound and the mobile sound. Anyways, yes, guys. So we have 5 minutes to go, and until then, I would like to know from you. Okay. Yes, thank you, Rukmini. Yes, I would like to know from you. If you want, you can turn on your videos, guys. That would be great. Okay. And I would like to know from you, what is your inspiration? Okay, Rukmini is from Chennai. Okay, good, Rukmini. Yes, anyone else would like to tell about their location and how you end up here in this webinar? I would like to know, you guys, that I'm going to speak for you with you. for the next 1 hour. So it's good if I know you. Okay, hey Preeti, and we have some more people joining us.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Preeti, hi. How are you, Preeti?
Very well. Thank you. How about you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you, Preeti. Where are you from?
I'm from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh.
Oh, okay, that's good. And what's your inspiration to come for this webinar?
Actually, I have been into training, English language training and soft skills training for the last 2 decades. And I try to encash every opportunity to learn more.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, thank you.
I like the spirit.
Thanks.
2 decades. Okay, that's a very long time.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Doesn't seem so though. It seems as if I started hardly 2 months back, and now I'm looking at 20 years, but rather 21 years. This January I finished 21.
Okay, that's a long time.
Yeah.
You're actually 3 times more experienced than I am into English teaching.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, so a bit of my introduction, guys. Hi, my name is Swapnil. I'm from Pune, although I'm not in Pune right now. I'm at my place of hideout to save myself from this virus. Okay. Because in Pune, as you know, the number of cases was increasing. Okay. So yeah, I'm basically from Pune. Okay, I have been into English language teaching from last 7 years, and my overall the work experience is of 10 years. So I have been into teaching industry, or you can say soft skill training, etc. From last 10 years, and with the ESL, or we can say English as the secondary language, I have been teaching this from last 7 years. Okay. And there is some more information that I will definitely tell you about me. Okay, once we will progress webinar. Okay. Okay, we have Akash Gawai. Hey Akash, Tisha, Sarika is there, and
hello, sir.
Umna. Hey Umna Muskan. And we have Noble. Noble, hey Noble. No, Rukmini is there. Rukmini, I can see you. Okay, Akash is saying hello, sir. You can just call me Swapnil if it's comfortable for you. Okay. Just call me by my name, Akash. Okay, where are you from, Akash? Okay, hey Sarika, welcome. Okay, Sarika is saying she's from Pune. Hey, I'm also from Pune. Finally, we found each other here. Cool. That's good. Okay. Yes, Jaya, Bhargav, good afternoon. Okay, and Akash is from Amravati. Hey, Akash. Cool, man. So I hope that most of you guys, okay, are actually coming from teaching backgrounds, okay, or maybe you are at least at the advanced level of, with the English language. Okay, Sarika is saying that I'm also English language training since 10 years. Now I started reversing the entrance exam. Okay, Sarika, that's cool. Okay. Okay, guys. So, I believe that most of you people, you actually come from, a very good educational background, and I consider all of you to be advanced level speakers of English language. Okay. Okay. So it's 3:01. Let's start the session. Okay, I first need to request the administration. Okay, hey admin, can you please make me the host? Yes, guys. So until then, I can just tell you that in this webinar, we are actually going to have a look at the thing, okay, like, okay, there is a question. How is Tesol beneficial? This question is coming from Sarika. Hey, Sarika, yeah, definitely. I will try to answer this question. Just a second. Yeah, Sarika. So I believe that the entire webinar, it's actually based on addressing that one question. Like you have all the education, you have all those degrees and stuff. Like then why we need one more course and one more certification and stuff? No? So that's what we will be trying to look at in this webinar. Okay. Yes, guys. So I would like to know if you guys are able to see the screen right now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, admin, can you please help me to put the screen on the full screen mode? Yes, guys. So until we get some help with the technical stuff, okay, I can just tell you that TESOL or TEFL, these are the two examinations. Okay, so these are the two certification courses offered by US and Canada respectively. Okay. So if you take the case of TEFL, okay, and if you just try to understand the spelling, okay, so no, it's TEFL. So TEFL, it stands for teaching English, okay, to the foreign language students. Okay, so that's what TEFL stands for, TEFL. And TESOL, okay, it stands for teaching English to speakers of other language. Okay, teaching English to the speakers of other language. That's what the TESOL stands for. Okay. Yes. Okay, just give me a minute here. Yes, guys. So before we go ahead, I just would like to request you, please mark your attendance in this link that you can see in the chat window. It's good for us to, it is kind of helpful for us to maintain the record and stuff. So please do mark your attendance. Okay, Jaya has marked. Thank you, Jaya. Okay. Hello, Henry Harvin, guys. Admin, can you please help me to zoom in to make this layout at its full size? Can you please help me with that? Okay, guys. So going ahead, okay, you can see, first of all, we should take a look at the concept and the opportunities that it offers. Okay. Yeah. So the first thing is here, okay, whenever you're teaching English as a foreign language, okay, it means that in the actual course where we would study the course for 120 hours. Okay, there you will be able to get a deeper, a wider understanding of this concept. Okay, so for us Indian people, we take English as our second language, right? So English is not an absolute foreign language for us. It's just a second language, and most of us, even people coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and even also from sub districts, they're able to read the words, and they are able to make out some understanding out of it, etc. But that is not the case with no with at least 80% of the countries in the world. Okay, 80% of the countries in the world, for their population, English is an absolute foreign language. Okay, so here, okay, in this course, this Tefl or Tesol course, okay, we actually get a very wide understanding, okay, the solid foundation of the required skills to teach to teach English as a foreign language, okay, or even as a second language. Then we can say that in this course you will also learn a lot of techniques of teaching the skills, okay, based on the relevant or the related tasks like listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Okay, and if as some of you are actually working into some uh, you are actually conducting the tests for the foreigners or the people to be able to migrate. So those language proficiency exams that we say, so there is CELPIT and IELTS and TOEFL, etc. So these exams, they always check these four skills of any English language speaker. So that's where we are going to focus on. Okay, and the last part, okay, it's like some specialized training programs, okay, to prepare you as an English language teacher. Okay, like there are some theories, okay, with the help of which we can actually be more effective inside the classroom. Yes. So as I was discussing earlier, okay, it helps you to prepare, okay, all the aspiring teachers to be able to connect with the actual classroom teaching. This After this training, you will be able to teach, okay, the learners of all ages, okay, and of all the levels. Okay, guys. So there is someone's mic is on. I would just like to request you to turn off your mic. Yes, Jaya Bhargava.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Can you please uh, switch off your mic at the moment?
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So that's the other thing. Third thing is, okay, we will be able to explore the concepts of the classroom management, okay, and how to deal the issues with the student management inside the classroom. Okay, so those are of us, okay, who are teachers. Okay, so you definitely understand what classroom management is. Okay, but there are also people who are actually looking as ESL teaching as their first job in terms of teaching. So for those people, I can tell that classroom management is actually quite a complicated subject. Okay, in short, it is about handling the students inside the class when you're teaching them. Okay, but that's not an easy job. Okay, we'll take a look at that in a while. We'll also take an initial level training on the grammar and the phonology of the English language. Okay, and this all, at the end, definitely it opens a lot of doors of opportunities for teachers. Okay, and you can become a teacher, you can become a personal coach, you can become a trainer or mentor, okay, and that is more. Okay, we'll come to that in a while. Okay, so let's first just try to understand the course structure. Okay, and this course structure, it's actually giving you the idea about all the information that you need in terms of you know to be able to call yourself as a TEFL certified teacher. Okay, so maybe we should let's start from the end. Okay, and then we'll go to the first point. Okay, because first point is always the introduction to language. Okay, fine, we all know that. So the last thing that we will study in this course is going to be the resources, material, and the digital technology, etc. So what resources and material we need in today's technologically advanced classrooms. So that's going to be the last thing. Okay, and then we'll also take a good understanding, okay, about the difference between the testing and assessment. Okay, can both save the both of these factors, do they serve the same purpose or what? Okay, and which one is actually more helpful for an English language teacher? Okay, so we will study that here. And then we have lesson planning, okay, which is one of the most important area whenever you are going to apply for the job. Okay, whenever you are going to apply for the ESL job, the first thing the school would ask you, okay, they would ask you to send you a lesson plan. Okay, okay, so mhm, okay, Nurain Fatima is saying, sir, please say a little slowly. Okay, Nurain Fatima, I will try to slow down my speech. Okay, yes. So lesson planning is an extremely important area. After that, we have teaching, speaking. Okay, we have the writing, speaking, listening, and reading sections. Okay, so these are the four areas where we will teach you. Okay, or a teacher will learn how to teach these topics to your learners. Okay, so and then we have how to teach vocabulary to the learners, how to teach grammar. Okay, can it be a fun experience to learn grammar? Okay, we'll take a look at that. And then we have pronunciation, phonetics, and phonology. Okay, so this is where I believe most of the Indian English language teachers, okay, they are quite familiar with the other topics, okay, but especially with the pronunciation area and phonetics and phonology, a lot of our people, they lack the information, they lack the understanding of this. People actually don't really know what is IPA and phonemes and phonological script. Right? So we'll study that as well. So with the help of these phonemic script and phonemic alphabets and the overall theory of phonology, okay, we will be able to help our students to improve their pronunciation. Okay, so these days, I see a lot of requests coming in from students who just want to work on their pronunciation. Right? So there is, that's another area where you can help your learners. Okay, and there is also a good income opportunity there. Okay, and then we have teaching young learners. Okay, so teaching young learners versus adult learners is an extremely different experience. Okay, and you need to do it in order to learn it. No, I can't really explain it in words. Okay, but in this course we will take the understanding of, we will look after the areas like where we need to improve in terms of our psychological understanding. Okay, our psychological understanding with the students, with the young learners. Okay, how to understand them and their needs, and why they do the stuff that they do. And then if you ask them, why have you done that, and then they would say, I didn't know. So it's more about reading their mind. Okay, and if you are able to read their mind, then it's definitely going to be, you will have the upper hand in terms of maintaining the communication, right? And then we have this topic, okay, which is teaching process and role of instructors. Okay, so as in Tefl course, okay, we look at teaching as a process, and we will see what different roles a teacher has to play in everyday classroom. Okay, so it's you're not only there as a teacher. Okay, sometimes you have to act like a friend. Sometimes you need to be just a person and observer. Sometimes you just need to take part with them. You become a participant. Okay, so now, what we will study in teaching young learners, okay, and in terms of lesson planning, okay. So with these things, okay, our roles will increase. Okay, we will have to perform different roles in the ESL classroom. So we will take a look at that as well. And at the end, for sure, introduction to English language. Okay, I think I don't need to speak on this much. Let me just look at the messages in the chat. Okay, Yamini, Priyanka, is my voice better for you now? I'm speaking a bit louder now, and I have also, no, I'm also holding the mic very close to my mouth. Okay, I'm sorry about the thing. Okay, thank you, Priyanka. Priyanka says it's fine. Okay, guys, so if you look at this entire syllabus that we have here, okay, so I would just like to give you the idea in terms of business. Okay. Um, now let me give you the business perspective. So now there are people who are actually good in terms of content writing. Okay. So if you're a content writer and if you are good in terms of finding the resources and the material and stuff, so you definitely can become a content writer in this field. Okay. A content writer can also act like a lesson planner. So you just need to write the lesson plans and you can sell those lesson plans to the teachers. Okay. So definitely you sell it to the websites, like you associate yourself with the leading websites on these topics, and then no, you can sell it there. And then we have teaching writing, speaking, listening, and reading skills. So for sure, no, we have a lot of scope in this area as well. Okay, you can write your own content and you can use it, let's say, for your learners directly, or you can just sell it to the other teachers. Teaching vocabulary. So over here, we can say as a content writer, you can try to add all the vocabulary that you learn into. Okay, guys. Akanksha? Yeah, thank you. Yes. So as you can see, over here in terms of vocabulary, a content writer can add all these words, okay, that you want to teach to your learners in a particular lesson. Okay, you can either make a story with the help of those words, and then the teacher would present that story to the learners. Okay, so that's how you can, you can take benefit of this. And I'm just giving you guys a very brief idea, okay, because I cannot surely cover everything in just 1 hour. Okay, teaching grammar, this can act like an individual topic. Okay, so there are students who just and only want to learn uh, grammar, okay, because they want to crack some exam very soon. So you can be a good teacher, okay, in terms of teaching grammar. Okay, you can help learners to improve their pronunciation skills, etc. Whenever you're teaching the spoken English lessons, okay, it's like these days, we have a lot of students, okay, who are actually asking for the spoken English lessons, okay, because they don't want to learn grammar and stuff, okay, and mostly these are the working professionals, okay, they don't have enough time to go through all that grammatical concept. So they just want to speak and learn. Okay, so in that case, here when you will try to understand these areas like speaking and listening. So after studying these two topics, you definitely will be able to take spoken English lessons. Okay, and writing skills. So again, if there is a person who knows the different rules of content writing and maybe he or she is aware about the technical stuff, but still there is a lot of things that the person needs to know in terms of writing in a particular language. Okay, so here you can teach your learners. Okay, either they are just inspired to become a content writer, or they just want to write something for their blog or maybe their website, maybe some Facebook posts. So as a hobby as well, people want to look nice, so they want to learn how to write effectively. Okay, they want to know where should they put the comma, where should they actually put the first letter capital. Okay, so after this lesson you can take, you can start teaching the students. Okay, you can start those lessons immediately. So as you can see, this entire syllabus of the Tesol course, okay, it actually covers all these areas. Okay, and upon completion of each of these topics, okay, if you're already into teaching, so once you study these areas, okay, you can start to find work. Okay, and definitely there are many students these days. Okay, you will be able to find work and you will be able to start teaching. Okay, and make money. So I know that as a teacher we don't talk about money, but no, that's our end goal. No, I mean, we are actually doing it for that. No, we definitely want to help our learners and all that stuff, but yeah, money is also important. So I put some stress on that aspect as well. Okay, so there are some tips here how to teach grammar with fun. Okay, so here, okay, you can take this, this activity is actually based on the learner centered teaching method. Okay, so you ask the learners, okay, some questions. Why is grammar important? Is grammar only about errors and correctness? So you get them into speaking, you check their knowledge, where do they exactly stand, how much they know, etc. And then you can start to teach them the grammar that they don't know. You definitely do not want to make them feel like, oh my God, I already know this. And maybe I'm just wasting my money by paying to this teacher, right? We don't want our students to feel that way. So we can just gauge their understanding. And from that point onwards, we can teach them. Okay. So some tips here. Okay. Build grammar practice into fun writing assignments. Okay, and make funny examples, and or practice sentences. Make a bulletin board, okay, or anchor chart called why grammar matters, and have students to contribute. Okay, have a storyline with grammar concepts. And the fifth, we have play revisical chess, okay, with grammar concepts you have been learning, and dress up as grammar. Okay, so a bit of information here. Okay, I can just spend time, let's say, explaining the second thing. Okay, so make funny examples and practice sentences, etc. So you can just, for example, give a sentence to your learners. You know, and most of the learners, they want to talk about their friends or something. So you can make a sentence. I went to the jungle with my friend. That's it. That's the sentence that you give. And then it is for your students, it is for your learners, okay, to add the next sentence in the story. And based on that sentence, the next student will add his or her sentence into the story. Okay, so maybe the first sentence of the story was, I went to the jungle with my friend, and at the end you get something like, so we decided to live on Mars. okay, for our entire lifetime. Okay, so I mean, you see, when you allow freedom to your learners, they definitely come up with some examples, okay, that are that are actually very fun to study from. Okay, and the other thing is that I mean, here with this particular exercise, or with this point number two, make funny examples or practice sentences. Here we allow our students to have fun with the language, okay, and we just correct them wherever they are making a mistake, okay, if they are making a grammatical mistake. So for this example, when we are helping them to make a story, so story is kind of a narrative speaking, so we need to teach them the narrative tenses. So once you're done with the narrative tenses, then you can ask your learners, okay, to go for this kind of an exercise, okay, where they get a gist of using the language and listening to other people and their mistakes as well, okay. And as a teacher, you let them have fun, okay. They might want to kill their friend, it's not our business, okay. Let them kill their friend, okay. Our job over here is to only to keep keep an eye on if they are using the correct grammar, okay. Whenever they are making some incorrect pronunciation, or if they are speaking into present continuous, so we help them like, no, 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 that's not the way you speak, and then you give them the right sentence over there, okay. I have seen that amongst the Indian English speakers, okay, there is this tendency to speak using present continuous, okay, and that's a very, very frequent thing. Okay, so let's go for the next one. Yeah, pronunciation and accents. Okay, so when we want to help our learners to improve their pronunciation, and again, as I mentioned earlier, this is another area where a lot of students want to pay you and they want to learn how to speak better. So these are some tips here. You have to listen to yourself, okay? Do the recordings. Nowadays, with the smartphones and internet, it's not a big thing. You can just record your voice and listen to it again. Okay, you can slow down. You can see if you're speaking too fast, slow down. If you are too slow, increase the space. You can picture the pronunciation. Okay? And if you want, you can do the video recording or just stand in front of the mirror, watch yourself when you're speaking. Okay, so that's another way. And practice English. Okay, so that's like a very obvious one. Okay, focus on mouth. So over here, okay, we want to tell you that like English is a language, okay, where a lot of pronunciation is actually happening by modifying the other sounds, okay. So because of that reason, we have we have to teach our learners like how they should exactly put their mouth, okay. Let me just turn on my video and show this to you guys. Okay, so you see, when you want to say sir, okay, sir, you watch your lip movements, you see your the teeth, etc. Okay, sir and sure, sir and sure. Okay, almost the same from the outside, but there are some changes happening with the tongue position inside. Okay, so you should be able to tell that. You should be able to explain that to your learners. Like that's how you're supposed to position your tongue in order to make this sound. Okay, and no, we have these other sounds, for example, p, and then there is b, right? So these are the labiodental sounds, okay, where you actually use your lips with your teeth, okay, and you blow the air out at once, like b, b, right? But a lot of speakers, okay, especially coming from foreign countries, for them it is actually very difficult to make that sound. So you would want to sit with them and teach them how they should exactly position their organs in the mouth in order to make that sound. Okay, so that's another area. Watch other experts speaking, listen to the experts speaking. Okay, and find the language buddy, like someone that you can speak and practice the language with. Okay, pay attention to intonation and stress. So that's no. This point number 9, it can be covered when you're actually listening to the native English speakers. Okay, check spellings. Okay, is because a lot of times, no, as we know that in English language there are actually a lot of silent letters. So we should be able to help our learners to understand that. Okay, so we have a lot of people, okay, who actually are very good in terms of speaking, okay, but they have never seen the word that they speak, okay. So when it comes to reading, a lot of people fail, okay. So there is this word which is very simple, no, phoenix, phoenix, very simple, phoenix. Anyone can pronounce that, but when you write that and then you ask someone to read it, definitely they are going to read it like Phoenix or something, right? So it is important for the learners to be aware about the spelling as well. Okay.
Sir, meaning of
Yes,
intonation.
yes, Fatima, can you repeat that, please?
Meaning of intonation.
Yes, Fatima. So that is actually a big question. Okay, but intonation is something that I can tell you in a short. It's the way you speak whenever you're giving the information. Okay, let's say if you're giving some exciting news, so definitely your intonation would be high. You can go like, hey guys, let's see, I got new, no, I got the tickets for this new movie, let's go for it. So there is a different intonation, there is a different pace in your voice versus if there is something sad or maybe you're just bored. So you definitely won't say to your friends like, "Hey guys, I'm so bored." No,
Hmm.
no. You
Okay.
would go like,
Yeah, okay, sir.
"Oh yeah, I'm not feeling well. I'm just bored." No, so the intonation is absolutely different. No, so intonation is the arrangements of these sounds, okay, and the intensity that you put on each of these words stress. We'll
Okay, sir.
study
Thank
that
you, sir.
in. Yes, Fatima, thank you. We'll study that, okay, in the course. There is actually a 4-hour dedicated lesson only to learn about the pronunciation stuff. Okay, guys. So some more information over here about the classroom management. Okay, so over here we can say the classroom management. Okay, they are the issues, okay, of the highest concerns. Okay, especially for the beginner teachers. Okay, so I'm sure you all were part of that group, okay, in your school, or at least I was the part of that group where our entire purpose to attend a lesson was to give the teacher a very hard time, okay, because we used to think that this teacher is not so smart and she's just reading something and she's entering the class and she's just repeating the information. She doesn't know how to teach. And then we definitely would want to be mischievous. Okay, so students feel that way. Okay, students feel that you are not doing enough to help them to learn the subject. Okay, so in that case they definitely want to avoid listening to you, or they would want to just try to check if you are really the teacher that you say you are. And for that reason, they show a lot of we can say disruptive behavior inside the classroom. Okay, maybe some inappropriate behavior inside the classroom. And how you handle that and how you save the time which is actually for you to teach to the learners. And it can be the situation like there are just 1 or 2 kids amongst the classroom of maybe 25. And because of two guys, other 23 students who actually respect you as a teacher and they want to learn from you, etc., etc. Now you want to deal with these two kids, okay, and you also want to teach the other kids, right? So now you are in a dilemma. If you do not take control over this misbehavior by these two guys, okay, then this misbehavior, okay, this is like a contagious one, okay. So if one student starts to do something and the other students notice that teacher is not doing anything, a teacher is not able to control this guy's behavior, so no, why should I not have fun inside the class? I can do what I want instead of paying attention to the teacher. And they start talking, maybe moving around, okay, and you want them to pay attention to you, but they are busy in their own talks, right? So that's kind of a disturbing behavior, okay. And we have these like layers of these kind of behaviors, and at the end we have disruptive behavior, which is like no, it can spoil the entire classroom environment, okay. And especially these days, when you need to get your lesson plans approved by your head of the department, etc. So in that case, we need to cover all the lesson. Okay, we need to teach everything within that fixed amount of time, and at the same time, you need to deal with these other kids. No, and you definitely cannot say them like your parents have paid for you, and this is what you're doing. No, that's not going to work. Okay, that's not what the TEFL teacher does. So we'll take a look at that, okay, in terms of the classroom management, okay. And as I mentioned here, classroom management, they are the highest uh, concern, okay. And there are some techniques, okay. So let's look at these basic instructions. Okay. So here we have no, you should focus your attention on the entire class, okay. That's for sure. Okay. Don't talk over students' chatter. Okay. So whatever their issue is, whatever they are discussing, okay, do not bring that into the classroom discussion. As a teacher, you should not, repeat their words. Okay. So that's thing. And silence can be effective. Okay. So a lot of times, instead of just asking all the students like keep quiet and what's wrong with you? Why don't you just keep quiet and I'm going to start the lesson. You want to learn it or not? And blah blah blah. Instead of all that rhetoric, okay, you can just be silent and let the students understand that you're observing them inside the class and you're waiting for them to maintain the quiet inside the class so that you would start teaching. Okay. So this is an effective way of handling these students. Okay. Now this one is actually very important. Okay. Use softer voice so that these students really have to listen to you, whatever you are saying. Okay. So a lot of times it happens that when we are teaching our students, okay, as the instructions that we get from our colleagues and friends, you should speak louder so that they all should be able to listen to you and all that. Okay, you should keep your voice very clear. We get all these instructions, we get all these free suggestions, right? But that doesn't really help in every situation. Okay, especially when you're working with the let's say teenagers. Okay, they would definitely take you for a ride. Okay, if you're just asking them, like if you're just raising your voice inside the class to maintain or to hold their attention. Okay, and students, they would feel like, okay, so even if I'm not putting any efforts from my side, it's no problem, like teacher is going to speak louder, okay? And whenever the teacher would ask me if you are able to understand something, I'm just going to say, no, teacher, you were not audible. Your voice, it was very low and stuff. Okay. So in that case, like students, they would actually want to take the advantage of your strategy. Okay. See, so no, instead of you just going with your voice, making it louder and louder, what you can do is you can be audible. Your voice has to be audible. It has to be clear and all that stuff. Okay, but don't speak too loud. Let them know that they have to maintain the silence inside the class in order to be able to listen to the teacher. Okay, so that's the gist of this point. Okay. And then you have, direct your instructions, okay, so that students know what is going to happen. So whenever we are going to do something inside our ESL classroom, okay, especially when you're teaching English as a foreign language, we add a lot of different activities, okay, inside the classroom and like inside the lesson plan, and based on that we change the activities every now and then. Okay, so let's say you want to switch, okay, let's say from the individual activity, okay, you have some worksheets on which they have to write something or they have to complete the sentences and stuff like that. So after that worksheet exercise, maybe after 10 minutes, you want to go to something else, okay? Maybe you want to give them some speaking practice. So that is the transition time, like from one activity to the other. So that transition time, okay, it is here that you need to keep your instructions very clear and short and precise. Okay, if the instructions are not clear, or if you have to repeat yourself, or for example, if you have to tell your learners, okay, that like this is what we are going to do, and la la la. If it is too long, then students are most likely going to lose the interest from the activity. Okay, so your instructions, they have to be very simple, okay, and to be very precise, and they should know, like your learners should be able to understand what is exactly going to happen next, and how they are supposed to work in that next activity. Are they supposed to sit in their places, or maybe inside the classroom now they have to find some other partner for this speaking practice, or maybe for the listening practice, or if there is a group activity. So they should know how should they keep themselves physically, mentally, right? So they should be prepared for that. So in ESL, or in the Tefl, we call it as the allocated time versus the transition time. Okay, the allocated time is like, let's say 10 minutes for this specific activity. Okay, let's say you have taught them maybe simple past, okay, basic example, simple past, and in the last lesson you taught them simple present. Okay, so you give them the worksheet, and you write some verbs on the words, okay, and you tell them the past forms and past participles of these words, okay, and the worksheet is there in their hand, and now they need to go for this grammar translation method, where they have to convert the sentence from present simple to past simple. And so for this activity, let's say there are maybe 5 sentences, 10 sentences, depending on the no, depending on the exposure that your learners had with the language. So you allow them some time, okay, maybe 10 minutes for this activity. So that is the allocated time, versus now you want them to switch to some other activity, right? So in that case, this is going to be the transition time. Okay, so we have a detailed instruction. Okay, we have a topic to cover, especially on this allocated time versus the transition time in the ESL classroom. Okay, so we will take a look at that when we will be studying. But that's the basic thing. Okay, if you want to maintain the discipline inside the classroom, then your instructions, they always have to be very clear and precise. Okay, guys, so let's go for the next one. Yes, so now in terms of presentation skills, so I believe this is actually helpful for the teachers. Okay, so in presentation skills, okay, you first thing is, yeah, you need to introduce your presentation, the topic and stuff, and what was the inspiration, or why did you feel the need to come up with this presentation, etc. And after the introduction, okay, you can just make the you can just tell them the objectives that you want to achieve, okay, or the objectives that the audience need to be aware of before they are listening to this presentation. Okay, then you make your first point, okay, move from one point to the other and review what they had, whatever you had covered so far. Okay, and so before you end the presentation, you take a review. Okay, and this is also a very important aspect of ESL classroom. Okay, so let's say you are applying for a job and you get a email saying that, okay, we like your no, we like your job profile, you have the degree and stuff, nice, okay, but can you please send us the lesson plan? And in the lesson plan, you must at the end keep 5 minutes separate, okay, for the review of the lesson that you have done with your students. Okay, so at the end we give them review, like, yeah, these are the things that we studied in this class, and no, that's how it works, etc., etc. So that's the review. Okay, and it has to be mentioned in the lesson plan. Okay, and the same thing is here with the presentation skills. You need to give them the review, okay, summarize the main points, okay, and conclude the presentation. Okay, and tips for the presentation skills. Okay, so yeah, setting aside the shyness, gaining the confidence. Yeah, it is like quite easy to say, but very difficult to achieve. I'm sure we all are aware of it. Okay, and the shyness and the confidence, it actually depends on the audience as well and your preparation, etc. Okay, if you have been, if you are asked to do a presentation on a topic which is not much familiar to you, and then they say the director of the school is also going to be in the audience, so of course, I mean, you are definitely going to feel shy, nervous. We are going to feel like, oh my god, am I going to make it? Will I look silly? Will I sound silly? There's so many doubts, and that's where we lose the confidence. So this is something quite a big thing to achieve. Okay, but with practice, we can achieve this. Voice projection, of course, whenever you are there inside the presentation room, your voice has to be very crisp, clear, okay, and audible enough. And then you need to engage the audience. Okay, so this is what we also teach in the Tefl course. Whenever you're teaching something to the students, you make it about the students, you make it about them. Okay, you can find a lot of examples on the internet where there is a sentence, for example, Sally likes to go for a walk in the evening. Okay, so that's the example. Okay, and if you bring the same example inside your classroom, okay, and you have students, and now one in your student has a name Sally. Okay, so no, students are going to feel like, okay, so this is some character coming from book or maybe from internet. Okay, so instead of Sally, write some real names of your students, like make it about them. Ask your students, what do you do in the evening? Do you go for a walk, or do you just take a cup of tea and relax? What do you exactly do? Ask them and make a sentence based on that. So that is actually going to be a more engaging conversation. Okay, so same thing is here with the presentation skills. Okay, make the presentation about the audience. Okay, not about some fancy characters from internet. Okay, and yeah, good body language, very important for sure. Okay, and then keeping it short. Okay, no one would definitely like to listen to a presentation for like 2 hours something. So do remember the timeline. Okay. Yes, guys. So this is again a very important area. Okay, the lesson planning. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of schools, they would just ask you to send the lesson plan, and based on the lesson plan, they will be able to gauge your understanding of English language, your understanding of the students as well. Okay, so as you can see, we have some things here, like what you're exactly supposed to do before the class, during the class, and after the class. Okay, so before the class, you can just identify the objectives. Okay, what is it exactly that you want to teach your learners with? So let's say you want to teach them modal verbs like can and may, no, and no, all the similar words like that, for example. And your objective of that lesson plan should be like to teach my learners with the polite language. Okay, that should be your objective, that should be your main objective. And the subordinative objective or the supporting goal, okay, that should be to teach them with modal verbs like can and may and no will, all that stuff. Okay, a lot of teachers, they make the primary the objective is like, I want to teach my learners with modal verbs, and that's it. No, that's like a big blender. Okay, because our objective to teach English is not to make them another book. Okay, a living book with all the information of grammar. We want to help them to speak English in the real life. So that should be the goal. So whatever piece of language you want to teach your learners with, see what is going to be the real life outcome of that language, and that is going to be your goal. Okay, and then second thing is plan the specific learning activities. Okay, what activities you want in that lesson plan. Okay, how you want to assess your students, like if they have been able to understand the topic well, or maybe you need to explain them more something. And if this is kind of a lesson which cannot be covered in one session, so how many sessions would it need? Maybe like 2 3 sessions, and how we are going to divide the time, etc. So if you apply for a job in an international school, okay, there are some students, okay, and some of my friends who are actually working in the international schools in India. So they have the. Yes, Fatima, I would like to request you to please mute your mic. Okay, so there are some students, okay, and some of my friends who are working in the international schools in Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, etc., in Chennai as well. So we have, they actually need to present their lesson plans to their head of the department, okay, or maybe the vice principal, okay, depending on whoever the senior would like to take the job. You have to present your lesson plans. So if you want to give, let's say, 3 lessons only for a particular topic, so you need to be able to divide that topic appropriately. Okay, and your senior has to approve that, right? So that's how lesson planning is important. Okay, and at the time of interview, they definitely would ask you to write a lesson plan. Okay? And yeah, the next thing is keeping the realistic timeline. That is again a very important one. Okay, and plan for the lesson closure, how you want to close that lesson. Okay, so that's before the class. During the class, you need to share your lesson plan with your students. Okay, So I can say if you're working with the students above 12, okay, so definitely you would want to show your lesson plan, okay, and that is actually going to be a very effective way to hold your learners attention for the entire class, okay. If you just tell them like today we are going to learn this and you just start to teach them the stuff, it is very difficult for them to see how this thing is actually going to help them, okay, and when this lesson will get over and how long they have to keep their attention to learn this new piece of language, right? So if you show them the lesson plan, things are very simple, okay, not for your students but in general as well. No, let's say you want to take your friend for a vacation and you just tell them, okay, or your friend just asks you like, hey, come on, like yeah, Rukmini, let's go for a vacation. And Rukmini says like, yeah, okay, but where? Don't worry about that, I'll tell you, just pack your bag and just follow me. Like you're going to feel surprised, like what the hell. Tell me, like, where are we going, what are we going to see, how are we going to travel, where are we going to stay, what food are we going to eat, right? So if you have all that knowledge, okay, definitely your trip is going to be very enjoying, okay, and very successful, versus you have no idea and you're just going there. So definitely you will feel doubt. No, you are going to have that bumpy ride for the entire vacation. So instead of vacation, you might feel like it's an harassment, right? So the same thing is with the learners, okay, whenever you're teaching them some new language, okay, maybe conditionals, modal verbs, gerunds versus infinitives, okay, and passive voice, indirect speech, all that stuff, quantifiers, show them the lesson plan. That's how we are going to go for it. No, it creates a very simple image for them, okay. It actually makes them to achieve that relaxed peace of mind, okay, that state of mind in which they can indulge into the learning experience, okay. So, and I will share, no, I will again state that you should show your the lesson plans to the students above 12 years of age, okay, because below that age it's not going to make any sense, okay. And after the class you do the review, okay, and you do the review in personal, okay, whenever you're there, uh, you know uh, you can just count like what has worked, what has not, and how can you improve your lesson plan on that particular topic, okay. So that's the thing. And there are some phases in the lesson plan. So first of all, you need to do the introduction. Okay. And then there is the foundation stage. Okay. Like how should you establish the topic? Okay. And then there is some brain activation. Okay. Like how you should make your learners to think in the target language. And then body of the new information. Here you explain the structure of that lesson or that particular topic. Okay, and then you give some clarification, like in which situations you're supposed to use this piece of language and where it won't work, etc. And then you give them some practice activity to them, and you do the review. Okay, how they are supposed to once you do the review, your learners would understand like what exactly they're supposed to uh, focus more on, okay, and where they are supposed to put some more, invest some more time to practice, etc. And at the end, we have the independent practice, like all students, they work on their own, okay, without help of anyone else's. So that's the independent one. And at the end, the closure of the lesson plan. Okay, so at the end, you want to close the lesson with the review and stuff. So that's kind of a standard lesson plan. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we have a 4 hour long session only on lesson planning, okay. And we will study each of this area, okay, introduction, foundation, brain activation, etc. we'll study each of these areas in a, in its greatest depth. Okay, so before we go ahead, let me take some questions. I think we have some questions here. Yes, guys. So please do fill the attendance sheet. Okay, it helps us to keep the record, okay, and it helps us to measure the effectiveness. So it would be great if you just fill in the attendance sheet. Okay. And Rukmini is saying, I have completed my 12, but 2 years of experience in teaching. I want to go for the government teaching job. Okay, so can you suggest me what should I do? Which course I should get? Okay, Rukmini, I actually don't know the rules of your state, okay, and the other state rules, okay. But what I know for sure is in the government jobs, no, they might want to see the students, okay, who have the B.Ed degree, okay. So that is one criteria, okay, that I know for sure, okay. Besides that, every state in India, they have some of their own rules, okay. And if you want to go for some CBSE school, then they have some other criteria. They have higher standards, okay. So based on that, you need to approach. But one thing I can promise you at the moment, okay, after this Tefl course, okay, you definitely will be the teacher, okay, and you would also there's a good chance that you will be able to attract more number of students, okay, and no, you can actually start with the earning side, being a teacher. Okay, so Jay is saying, sir, I sometimes make mistakes in presentation and present and past. Yes, Jay. So with the present and past, I would like to tell you that in this course, we have a complete tenses introduction, okay? And how should you learn the tenses and how should you teach these tenses to your students, okay? We have covered all 12 tenses as well. Okay, and we have covered the SVA, subject verb agreement, and some other important grammatical topics as well. Okay, and one more question is from, yes, Yamini Madhuri. Yes, Yamini, this is going to be an online course, okay? We will take a look at the course structure, okay, in a while. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead, okay? So we need to be aware as an English language teacher. We should be aware about the psychology of the young versus adult learner, okay, in terms of the autonomy, learning experience, and the anxiety issues that they face, etc. Okay, so all these things are actually very important. Okay, if you know your audience, okay, it is it is easier to control your audience, right? If you know your audience, it is easier to make the impression, etc. Okay, so that's the thing. So now the difference between young and adults, okay, young learners, they do not have the autonomy in their characteristic, okay, but adults, they definitely can maintain the discipline inside the class, okay. In terms of learning, okay, young learners, they have not learned much in their life, okay, but the adults, they have learned a lot of stuff, okay. So even if a particular information is not making any sense to them at the moment, they know by experience, okay, that no, this information will be very useful for them in the future, and they definitely want to, they will be able to hold their attention with the learning. Okay, so that is the another difference between young versus adults. Were no, so in the case of young learners, it should be the teacher who should change the teaching activities every now and then. You should have, you should include a lot of fun inside the learning stuff, to keep your to keep your learners engaged. versus you don't need to do all that stuff with the adults, you know. So that's one thing. Okay. So motivation, again, young learners, they are not self-motivated. They do not know how much their parents have paid for the course, and know how much, why should they learn a foreign language and all that stuff. Okay, so young learners are just not aware about all that. So you need to motivate them using different methods versus adults. Okay, they are self-motivated. They already know the importance of the language, and they can keep themselves motivated. Okay, so that's the thing. And discipline and life experience. Again, young learners, they do not have any life experience and no discipline. Adults, they have it. So based on that, at the moment, we are not sure when you will be able, no, whenever you will complete the course, what students you will get. You might get one class of young learners, and there can be another class of adults. Okay. And you cannot say, no, I just want to work with the young learners. Like looking at the business perspective, right? So looking at the business side of the job, we should be able to take, we should be able to teach the learners, okay, no matter about their age. So in that case, this information is going to be very helpful to you. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's go for the next slide. Yes. So, okay, I'll take, yeah, Fatima, I will take your question in a while. Okay, just give me a minute here. I will take your question in a while. Okay, so learning need versus the personal need. Okay, so for example, there is a learning need of a student. Okay, and at the same time, they have some personal needs. Okay, and we should be able to understand what they exactly need. And you can't really ask them, okay, tell me what's your learning need, or tell me what's your personal need. Okay, because they don't know either. So it is for the teacher to figure out that information, right? So learning need, it can be, for example, if you're teaching them passive voice. So in order to teach your learners with passive voice, your learners, all of them should be through with the past tenses, right? So in that case, if your learner is not fully confident with the use of past tenses, so you should teach them that first, right? So that is going to be their learning need. Okay, that's something that they want to learn about, right? Versus personal need, if your student wants to, some students, they can just learn with the help of repetition. Okay, some students, they want to communicate with their friends about the topic that they have just learned, and based on their friends explanation, they can understand that particular topic in a much better way, right? So that can be the personal need. Okay, it's a learning style that can be their personal need. Personal need also can be for the hunger for attention. A lot of students, they just want to catch the attention. Okay, and that's the reason they are making, or they are just trying to be the class clown. Okay, so you should need, you should be able to understand these needs, and you should be able to give them the solution. So if there is a student who wants to gain some attention, give him attention, give her attention, let them stand, and no, maybe you can just tell them like, yeah, that's a good job, that's a good answer, very good. No, you have performed better than my expectations. Like, good, let them feel nice. Okay, and then they will be able to focus more on the subject, right? So that is going to be their personal need. Okay, guys, so let me just take the questions. Okay, Akansha is saying, what's the qualification for this course? I think if you're able to speak English at an advanced level, okay, or maybe even at the upper intermediate level, you can enroll for this course. Okay. Is there any specialization subject in Tefl course? So Ashma, I can say that this course is actually a general course, okay, where you get all the information, okay, you get to learn about all the aspects of ESL teaching, and then you can make the progress based on whatever is your interest. Okay, if you want to learn how to teach young learners, so definitely, we have trainers who can help you on that as well. Okay, so when the class will start? Yes, Yamini, we will give that information at the end. Please wait for it. Okay, Vinay, mechanical engineer, love to teach children. How Tefl, go for it abroad. Yes, Vinay. So if you have a mechanical engineering degree, but you love teaching, okay, so that's good. Okay, you can, I don't know, you can come into this field, okay, and you will be able to get students and you can teach them, etc., and you can make money. So all other areas are safe, but there's one thing, okay, when you want to go abroad, right? So if you want any school to hire you, so the schools and the foreign governments, they have the rules in place that the English language teacher must have teaching license. No, the teacher's license is the B.Ed degree. No, so if you are not having that degree, then you have very slim chance, okay, of getting a job abroad. But at the same time, I know a friend of mine who is actually an advocate by profession, and she completed the TEFL course and she invested some money. She visited Thailand. Okay, there is this school. She actually visited there and she worked there for a week for free. Okay, and the students, the young learners, they liked her. And on at the end, she spoke with the school administration and she got a job. And now, like today, it's like 11th of June, 2021. Okay, my friend is still there in Thailand, even during this time of pandemic. Okay, she's working from home right now, and the school administration is taking care of all the vaccination and stuff. Okay, so an advocate can have a job like that. Okay, so it's good thing, and this the school also has managed to give her the visa as well. Okay, so when Indian people want to go abroad, we think that I'll just sit in the comfort of my home and I will send my resume and I'll get a call and I'll crack the interview and I'll make it into the job. Unfortunately, it is not that easy if you're actually not coming from the teaching background. But the scope doesn't end there. Okay, just like I explained you about my friend. Okay, so she's doing really fine and she's actually getting a lot of good response. Okay, and because of her, at least the people who know her in Thailand, they actually started to respect Indian people. Okay, because Thai people, they used to think like Indian people have this accent and stuff, and but when they interact with this girl, okay, they see there is no accent issues and stuff, and that's how they start saying like, oh yeah, Indian English language teachers are good. You see, so she's also earning name for us. So even an advocate can do that. So I think mechanical engineer can also do that, but you just need to explore the opportunities on your own. Okay. Yes, so Vati is saying how long is the course and how long does it take for master the course? Yes, Vati. So it depends on your experience. Okay, so the course is actually of 120 hours, out of which 40 hours you will get the live interactive training with a trainer. Okay, that is going to be on Saturdays and Sundays, 4 hours each. Okay, so you can complete this course, I can say, within like 1 month and 1 week. Okay, like 5 weeks would be enough to complete the initial training of 40 hours with the real life teacher. Okay, over the live sessions online. And after that, you have 80 hours to explore the entire course material, which is there on the website. And the trainer would also suggest you a lot of information and some websites from where you can read the information and stuff. And in the remaining 80 hours, no, that's for you to explore and then you have some assignments, and then there is a final examination for you guys to take. And upon completion of that assignment, no, those 4 assignments and the examination, you will get your certificate. Okay, so that's it. You become the TEFL teacher. But at this point, okay, you have quite a limited knowledge, so you need to keep on exploring. Okay, but for sure, with the help of this certificate, you will be able to attract some students. So whatever you want to work with. So if you want to work with adults or teenagers, young learners, so you can start approaching these students. And these days, there's just so many applications are there with the help of which you can find students quite easily, and you can teach, and at the same time you can learn. And I'm happy to tell you that we have this TEFL community. Okay, so today at 5, we have this group meeting. So we, all the students, okay, who have passed, this course, TEFL course, okay, from Henry Harvin. So we all come together and they all share their experiences. If they have any questions, so we ask each other the stuff and we share the information. So there is this community, okay, where you will always get some support. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's go for the next slide, and then I will take the remaining questions. Okay, I think we just need 10 more minutes. Okay, and then we will be done with the presentation stuff. Okay, so yeah, here you can see we have different courses. Okay, so we have TEFL, and then Tesol, and then this is TESL, like teaching English as a second language. Okay, and CELTA. CELTA is actually being offered by the Cambridge University. Okay, so even that course, okay, is there. Okay, so TEFL, TESOL, and TESL. So these 3 things are quite simple. Okay, and I believe once you go for this course, okay, like the course that you would like to enroll after this presentation. So that course is actually going to cover the 3 areas. These three uh, uh, these three we can say courses here. Okay, and with the last one, okay, this is another specialization course. Okay, but we will keep that for our discussion in future. Okay. Yes, so the opportunities that you have, okay, as I was explaining, okay, you can become an IELTS trainer. Okay, that is for sure. And again, these things, they all depend on the experience that you have. So you can work as an IELTS trainer, and you can sign up for the virtual platform like Urban Pro. Yeah, so there are some of my students who actually signed up with these virtual platforms, and they are actually getting 2 or 3 students every week. So even if they are charging, let's say quite somewhere around 400 rupees for an hour. Okay, so 10 lessons with 1 student, that's like 4,000. Okay, and 10 lessons is what you can just teach them on Monday, Tuesday, something as per your comfort in the evening times. And if you add more number of students in that, so your income also gets multiplied, right? So you work for the same number of hours, but if you have more students joining in the same group, so you get more of money, right? So that is another good income source there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you can also become an entrepreneur. Okay, selling your lesson plans and stuff. Okay, so even that can be done. Okay, and yeah, after this course, if you want to enroll for the CELTA course, okay, like we discussed earlier, this guy, if you want to enroll for this course, you can go for that upon completion of this course. Okay, and then you can get associated with the international schools. Okay, as an English language teacher and as a kindergarten teacher, etc. Okay, so there is a good opportunity here as well. Okay, and even in India nowadays, when we have a lot of competitions, and like so many schools are popping up in every corner of the city. So every school wants to promise, or they want to deliver a very specific training. So they actually need more trainers because they are limiting the number of students in each of the batch. So they just don't want to teach any more than 20, 25 students, in the same uh, batch. So even the kindergartens, okay, the number of kindergarten and the requirement for the uh, kindergarten teachers, okay, it is also growing heavily. So even that is the other area where you can get the job, okay, and this is actually the biggest area. Okay. Okay, guys. So some information about Trendy Harvin. Okay, it is an organization that has been originated in San Francisco, California. Okay, and they have been focusing. Okay, or no, we have been focusing on the learning solutions. Okay, uh, in with the diverse audience, okay, in the different industries and the academics, okay. And at the moment, Henry Harvin has its active presence in India, Sri Lanka, San Francisco, and Beijing. Yes. So so far, okay, we have delivered the instructor-led training sessions, okay, that is like for 30,000 plus learners, okay. They have been learned in this format, okay. And we have also delivered some self-paced training, okay, like you can learn on your own by reading the stuff and following the exercises on the website, etc. So in this format, more than 200,000 learners, okay, they have successfully completed their courses on Henry Harvin, okay, or with Henry Harvin. Yeah, Henry Harvin is at the moment providing 80 plus courses, okay, and we have more than 150 vendors, okay, and there is also a tie-up with some corporates as well, okay. And so far we have 80 plus colleges in the partnership, okay, in India. Yes, guys. So here you can see we have 40 hours of instructor-led training, okay, the course structure, okay, and then we have once in a month, like 12 boot camp sessions monthly, okay, and then you will get the membership for the Henry Harvin Tefl Academy. So after this, you will be able to take part into the community meetings, and you can ask as many questions as you will come up with, and our trainers will be glad to help you. And the assignments and the project work, okay, that you will get, okay, it's actually very engaging, okay. So even at the moment you feel like, oh my God, doing the assignments, but don't worry, okay, the assignments are quite engaging and you will like it, okay. Yes. So once you will complete this course, okay, you will be, you will be able to say that you can teach English, or you can say that I'm a TEFL certified English language teacher, okay. And after once this course will be done, okay, you will have some cultural insights as well, okay. So these days we have students coming in from all over the world, okay, and teachers, they want to provide the lessons to all these students, like we have a student who is teaching to Korean. Then there is another teacher who is actually working with the Chinese students, and there is another one who is working with Middle East students, all that thing. So you need to have the cultural awareness. So that's what the other area, that we cover here. And yes, as we will be able to, as we will be studying about the young learners and their psychology and mindset and all that stuff, so you will be able to, develop the empathy for the students, okay. So maybe at the moment you might feel like, oh my God, I don't like to work with young learners they just get on my nerves. Okay, but maybe at the end of the lesson, you will feel empathy for them as you will be able to understand them more. Okay, and you will find yourself that there are just so many opportunities, and it is for you how much time and effort you want to invest to grab those opportunities. Okay, and believe me guys, in ESL at the moment there's just so many opportunities. Okay, a lot of students, they want to learn English. Okay, and you can enhance your productivity with by adopting the effective class and time management techniques. So that's another area that we will cover in this course. Okay, and yeah, with the opportunities, I just want to add to your knowledge. Okay, that it is estimated that at the moment, okay, the number of people who want to learn English, okay, around the world, it is approximately 1.3 billion. Okay, can you believe that? Like 1.3 billion people want to learn English. So you can see the scope. That's if that is the number of the audience, like the population of size of India. Okay, so it's huge, huge scope is there, and it is for us like how much, how many of these students we can get out of that. Okay, so boundless opportunities. Okay, okay. Now let's go for the last area. Okay, so the entire training. Okay, so that is the price for the training. Okay, and you also get all the videos. Okay, in the recorded format. Okay, be it your trainer. Okay, or the sessions that you will attend, or the sessions previously conducted by the other trainers, etc. So all those recordings, okay, will be available for you on the website, and you can just watch them. Okay, and you will be able to, you will be able to learn not from one but from many trainers. Okay, so that can be the thing. So you can go for the video sessions as well. Okay, and then there is a final examination at the end. Okay, so that's the fee for it. The certificate. Okay, so the certificate, on the certificate you will get the registration number as well. So as you know, Trendy Harvard, it's originally an American education services providing organization. So you can go on their parent website and you can validate your certificate. Okay, so no, to keep the transparency. So there is the certification. Okay, and that's the fee for it. Okay, and you will get the lifetime membership of the Tefl Academy with this fee. Okay, and again, as I mentioned earlier, there is the e-learning LMS portal where you can see all the course content and all the syllabus and everything is there. So that is the fee for it. And monthly boot camp. So instead of monthly, we can say it now it has been like weekly. As I mentioned, we have community meetings every Friday, 5 to 6. So that is going to be the fee for it. Okay, and unlimited access to multiple trainers. So that is the fee for it. Okay, but instead of the overall amount, which comes to this huge guy, okay, this big amount, at the moment you can enroll for this course for 26,500. Okay, so that is the offer price at the moment. Yes, guys, and if you want to follow us, okay, so you can follow us on Facebook. We are there on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Okay, and just a second. Okay, guys, so let me take your questions now. Yes, admin, I would like to request you, can you please check this PPT? It looks like it has been hanged. Okay, please take a look at that. In the meanwhile, I'll take the questions from you guys. Yes, Rukmini, what about the exam? Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, at the end of the course, you will get the link, okay, where you can take the exam, and you can take the exam as per your comfort, okay. Now, there is no fixed date, but yeah, there is a time limit for it. Yeah. So that's the thing. Mhm. Yes, guys. So if you have any other queries, okay, you can ask or you can call on those numbers, okay. Okay, Ashna Khan. I think that is Khan. Okay, I cannot really actually see yours. Okay, Ashna Khatri. Yes, sorry. Yes, Ashna Khatri. I'm a BCom graduate. For which course should I go for? Okay, so Ashna, I can say that Ashma. I can say that no, if you're interested into teaching English, okay, and if you enjoy the job of interacting with people, if you're just like me, who do not want to sit in front of the computer for 9 hours a day, okay, then this job, this course is for you. You can just take this Tefl course, and it will be great experience for you for sure. Okay. Okay, Rukmini is saying if we complete the course, we will be providing job offer, or we should try. Because in private, when we complete course, they are going good job opportunity. They're giving, I think. Yeah, Rukmini. Yes, Rukmini. So on behalf of Henry Harvin, okay, we also provide placement assistance. Okay. So for the placement assistant, okay, you will need to contact your relationship manager. Okay, and they will be the people who will be able to give you the exact idea about it. Okay, because I take care of the educational needs here. Okay, Niharika is asking, sir, I'm doing my graduation in English. That's good. Will I be able to get teaching job abroad with TEFL or Tesol certificate? Yes, Niharika. So as I mentioned earlier, okay, there is a good scope once you complete the Tesol or TEFL certificate. Okay, there is a good scope for you to get a job abroad. Okay, and as I mentioned to another person, okay, if you're coming from the teaching background, then there is then there is actually more scope of getting the job. And if you are not coming from teaching background, let's say if you're like coming from commerce, etc., so you would want to go abroad first, okay, and you can just seek jobs over there, okay, like some of my students have done, and you will be able to get job, okay, uh, based on this TEFL certificate. Yeah. Yes, Asma is asking if a person doesn't have any teaching experience. Yes, if the person has interest in teaching English, no, definitely you should go for it. And now there are many people who nowadays they just want to jump into this bandwagon, and they want to, uh, make money. They want to have, work and make money and stuff. So a lot of people are joining in, but the only criteria at the moment I can say is that the person should be able to speak in English fluently. Okay, you should be at least upper intermediate level in English. Okay, and you should have interest in explaining or teaching and interacting with people, just like I do. Okay, so in that case, it could work. Okay. Yes, Shilpi asking the same question, but I think I have addressed your question. Yes, Akanksha. So there is actually no qualification required for this course, okay? But it's good if you have completed at least your graduation, okay? And I believe nowadays, like, 95% of the people, they are at least graduated. Okay, so I think there should not be a big, no, big struggle with that. Okay, guys. So yes, so with that, I can say that this presentation is over. Okay, and if you have any other questions, so you will receive a call from your relationship manager or the person who actually called you to invite you for this webinar. You will receive a call from that person and you can ask them all the remaining questions if you have any. Okay. Yes, guys. So I see no more questions at the moment. Okay, guys, cool. So thank you for joining in. Okay. And I would like to see you in the course. Okay. Yes, guys. So time to say goodbye. Okay, guys. Bye. Thank you, Sonia saying thank you. Okay. Vinay, Shilpi, Yamini, Sajuna, Devi. Yes, guys. Do you have any questions? Hey, Ashna, Muskan. Yes. Tisha Banerjee. Okay, guys, fine. So let me just end this meeting here now. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye.